guys, welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot. I wanted to do a pick-a-pile reading for this new moon in Aquarius, guys. It's such a beautiful, beautiful energy. It's kind of like that beaming light amidst all the chaos. And I don't want to paint like a beautiful picture of everything coming together just perfectly, because it won't. We have Saturn square Uranus coming in a couple of days, and things are kind of still really unknown, up in the air, chaotic, all over the place. The universe is kind of doing its process. But this new moon is kind of asking all of us to recreate our potential, recreate our businesses, recreate our visions. What we want out of life, of what we want out of our friendships, out of our relationships. And I think now is a time where we kind of have these breakthroughs. Saturn is all about structure. It's all about the things that we need, the discipline, the limits that are really productive for us. They kind of keep everything in check. They keep the world from spinning out of control in a way. But Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius, all of these placements within this Capricorn energy, a Mercury that is in a retrograde phase, it's kind of asking us to reframe life. I think it's really important that we start to look at the things we don't have, the things or the places in which we're lacking. And I'm not talking about like not having enough food or not having enough money. Like, it's not about focusing on like the not enoughs. It's more about focusing on the things that you don't have that you always wanted, and the things that you never thought were possible. And it's a time when we have to get super, super clear in what our vision is. The universe is inviting us to kind of really break through some karmic patterns, break through our own kind of self-limits. And so it's really important that we set our intentions in this new moon. It's very important for us to let the universe know. And it's not about the details. It's not about what's even possible. It's just about what you want. It's about who you are, what fits you correctly. Where do you fit in? And it's okay to ask. It's okay. It's even better to put it in writing. It's even better to do a vision board. It's even better to light a candle and do a ceremony and ask the universe to help you obtain these things. And so I hope that with this pick-a-pile reading, that maybe you can gain a little bit of light or incitement into what you want to change and where you're brave enough to really break through these limitations. And as I always say, in Aquarius season, this is when miracles can really happen. So dream big, guys. Dream big and know that you can have whatever it is that you ask for if you truly believe that you can. So we have 3 piles in front of us. Pile number 1 is accompanied with this blue Lapis Lazuli, and it's a lot about following your intuition and trust, and it's about communication in your throat chakra. The pile number 2 is accompanied by the Amazonite, which is really all about the heart chakra, opening, feeling, loving, and allowing. And pile number 3 is a rose quartz. This rose quartz is all about healing and integration as well. 3 very gentle, beautiful colors that I wanted to choose to kind of balance out this very Uranus-Saturn change that's occurring. If you do not feel particularly drawn to a certain color or a certain stone, maybe you would prefer to pick a number 1, 2, or 3. And maybe you want to sit on the thumbnail for a minute and just kind of take a look at which one pulls to you. And you are certainly welcome to listen to each and see which one resonates with you. Um, I certainly hope that there are messages, maybe even in all of them, that will keep your attention, maybe something that you need to hear, something that reminds you of somebody else, and maybe it's something that you'd like to share. So whatever brought you here, it is much appreciated. I thank you for your time. Let's get started. Don't forget, there are timestamps in the description box below. I'll also try to pin them into the first comment, so you don't have to listen to all three. If you don't want to, just kind of take a look for those boxes and you can click. All you have to do is press on the actual timestamp, the numbers, and it'll jump right to what you want to hear. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you again soon. All right, pile number 1. You chose the blue Lapis Lazuli. Let's take a look at what the cards want to talk to you about for this transit. So we have the Six of Swords and the Page of Swords. We have the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Very interesting. We have the Four of Coins. You can see all those. Okay. So, oh, we have one more card. Sorry, guys. This is always the biggest challenge for me. It's my Virgo kicking in there. Okay. Knight of Swords. Very, very cool. Okay, so a couple of things that I'm getting right off of the bat is the Six of Swords. Guys, this is a new deck. It's called the Uncommon Tarot. Description in the description box below with the artist and everything, but it's a really beautiful deck and it's super diverse. And I wanted to kind of capture this energy for the Aquarius moon, which, you know, is all about the freedom, and it's also a little bit about the unusual. Now what I see is the Six of Swords is kind of this butterfly, and I see this symbolizing you kind of flying away or flying free from the things that are restraining you. And because it is swords related, it feels as though these are kind of very mental thought processes. And because we know that Uranus is a liberating feeling, there seems to be a sense of you leaving behind some very limiting beliefs. And because it is here next to this Page of Swords, it might have a lot to do with the things that you think you are actually capable of. So if there was kind of these things that you've always wanted to do or always wanted to try, or like this one thing that you never quite thought would be possible, and you know, maybe there's 100 different reasons. Maybe these things really are not possible. But I just don't think that means that you shouldn't ask, you know? And I think it's really important to try not to be too specific, you know? Take a look at the things that you truly want and desire in your life. Six of Swords, what are you moving away from? Is it the doubt that you can be independent? The doubt that, you know, you could have a successful relationship? The doubt that you could go away to school or go on that vacation that you've been wanting? Because with the Page of Swords, the more open you are and the less you believe in the reasons why it can't happen, the more likely it is to come to you right here. These two center cards are really what this whole situation is about. There's this Ace of Wands and this Knight of Wands, meaning that in this present moment, within this transit, there will be an opportunity and you will have what it takes to take advantage of it. You know, the Knight of Wands is quite impulsive. He's ready when he sees something that he wants. There's really nothing stopping him from going after it. And I think the universe is setting you up. It's making space. It's creating room for this opportunity to come in. And there's a process with this Page of Swords because there's this making of space. Again, with the butterflies, you are gaining this mental freedom. And that's really what Aquarius is all about, this new moon. It's like, oh, there is a way. Oh, there is a breakthrough. There's something we never thought of before. There's an opportunity. There's a thing that we didn't know was even possible, or a thing that we didn't even know existed. And because you are in a Page of Swords energy, it means that you're willing to give it a try. You're willing to give it a shot. You know, even this is you stumbling on this reading and listening to some strange lady's ramblings about, you know, vision boards and documenting your hopes, wishes, and dreams, no matter how silly they are. And you're like, yeah, well, okay, I'll give it a try. I remember one time I was listening to one of a recording by Wayne Dyer, and one of the things he said was that if you were somebody that suffered from horrific hemorrhoids and they told you that, you know, if you slept with a rose quartz, it would make it go away, what's the harm in trying? You know, if it can bring a painful situation to a close, what is the harm in trying? What's the harm of believing? And I just feel like that's what this energy is. And this Ace of Wands and the Knight of Wands is a promise. It's a promise that the things that you want, the things that you manifest in this mental activity, and it feels very much like I want better. You know, Six of Swords is that energy of moving to easier, calmer waters. Maybe it's just a question of what are the things that I can do to make my life more manageable? What are the things that I can do to make my life easier? You know, for some of you, maybe it's a change of residence. Maybe it's a change of jobs. Maybe it's changing friends. Maybe it's changing our physical habits and our routines. It could be anything. As long as it is in the context of simplifying and liberating. And here we are at the other end, kind of this outcome. And the warning card, the antagonizer card here is this Four of Coins. Now this man is kind of laying on top with like a part of his body kind of hovering over these precious coins, right? And there's a mentality of if I let go, there just won't be enough. And I think the universe is warning you that you cannot go at things from this kind of an outlook. It's not a time to play small. For you, for this particular reading, for this particular transit, it's not a time to think small. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and spend a bunch of money on a wild dream. No. But what I'm telling you is this Four of Coins is that lack mentality. And I think that's what you are moving away from. You are limiting yourself by thinking that, well, if I spend this money on school, if I spend my money on this, or, you know, if I use my resources in some way on this thing, then I won't have enough for the rest. You know? If I start partaking in this hobby, will I have enough time to do my responsibilities? If I do make this investment, what happens if you know, somebody loses a job and they don't quite have enough? And you probably don't realize, because in most Western cultures, it is very smart to save. It's very smart to be prepared for the worst case scenario. You know, obviously that's a smart, intelligent, grounded thing to do. But Aquarius isn't grounding energy. And I think, to me, it's not just a matter of holding on to resources. It's a matter of believing there can be miracles. It's a matter of believing that the big things can happen. And Four of Pentacles can be in an energy of, yeah, but I'm really not worthy of them. I don't deserve them. I don't deserve that corner office. I don't deserve that big house. I don't deserve that amazing partner. And the Knight of Swords is all about the vision. So there's a lot of healing within your thought processes. There's a lot of healing representing what you want out of life. And the Knight of Swords is the fastest knight in the deck. And I think you are embodying that new vision. I think you're embodying that new plan and you're ready to take action. There's a lot of ready, set, go here. We've made the space. We believe it can happen. And I think you will be shocked at how quickly, even if it doesn't make sense, at how quickly things will work in your favor. As long as you stay out of the mentality of not deserving, of not believing, of not feeling like you are capable. I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. Yeah, see, right under these two cards here, it's all about changing that mentality, changing that thought pattern. And I think one of those, a really good idea, you know, if you're not good at that, if you know this is an issue, if you know that you're, for all intents and purposes, a super practical person, you might find affirmations very useful. You know, it's just simply repeating things until you believe them. You say it enough times and it is true. I am capable of that job. I do deserve more money. I do deserve a fantastic partner. Those are the things that you say, and you say them with vigor, and you say them because you believe in them, and you ignore all the other little thoughts in your mind that said, yeah, but. A new start is coming, new moon. And that's what we're having, this Aquarius new moon, and it's all about the breakthroughs. Aquarius, this is Aquarius energy. And it feels like here in this present moment, there's such a desire for something new, for something different. I don't know, maybe we're all just really super tired of like the same old thing. We're tired of watching TV and sitting in our living rooms. And for a lot of us, we're in colder climates, and that's kind of miserable too. We can't really travel. There's not a lot going on. People aren't getting together. And we are all craving something new. Balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Yeah, what is out of control? What is chaotic? Maybe it's your job. Maybe there's just this feeling like you can't quite get things together. And you know, that is retrograde Mercury. It's making us look at things. Yeah, well, if we had an easier way to do this, or if we had somebody to help us with this, we could do so much more with that time. And the answers are coming. The ability to balance your life in a way in which it is equally as joyful as it is productive. The age of light, you've been training for this for lifetimes. If this is a job, if this is any kind of an opportunity or even a relationship, I think it's something that is so familiar to you. There is something about the opportunity that comes up that feels as though it is particularly made for you. And it's also a sign that it's already been prepared. And I feel like that's a sign that the universe is kind of waiting for you to catch up. Like this thing that you've always wanted, even if you didn't know you really wanted it. Like as soon as you realize that you're worthy of it, as soon as you realize that you truly deserve this, there is an epiphany and it is delivered to your doorstep. It truly is that simple. Because it's been ready for you. Dragonfly Spirit, truth transcends illusion. Card number 22, which is such a divine card. And I just think that's really beautiful. I think that really encaptures all of this transition of your beliefs. Truth transcends the illusion. And what is the illusion? The illusion is kind of like that glass ceiling. And we're breaking through that glass ceiling, right? We are really changing the way that we think. We're really changing the way that we feel about what we deserve and how we want our life to be. The illusion is that it's always going to be like this. The illusion is that it's always going to be hard. And the illusion, look at right underneath this Four of Coins, is that if we give to this thing, we won't have enough. And that's not true. We're in a time of Saturn, and we are in a time of our karmic truths. We have to believe. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe that we're capable. We have to have the confidence and the worthiness. And the universe is going to make you be brave. I mean, it's just going to happen. When you step into this Aquarius stuff, like you start saying no to the things that don't fit you. Like, I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore. I mean, it's a good time to break habits. It's a great time to seek the changes that you need. You know, if you have medical issues or anything like that, like now's a really good time to seek out the answers. Because it's a time of renewed hope, of growth, of breakthroughs. And I think for a lot of you, this all starts very internally. It starts very, you know, in a mental place. And it transcends very quickly. And you will see rapid change in the outside world, in the 3D. You will begin to see the changes occurring rapidly. All right, guys, thank you. All right, pile number 2, you guys chose the Amazonite. Let's take a look at these cards. What do we have going on for this transit? This lasts about a month throughout the whole new moon cycle. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, this is a new deck. It's actually called the Uncommon Tarot, and it's absolutely beautiful. These pictures are gorgeous, but I couldn't quite read that up close. This is a Wanderer card number 0, which is actually the card of the Fool. And the Queen of Wands, beautiful energy. I'm so surprised with this Aquarian moon that there's been a lot of fiery energy here. Get the 3 of Cups. The 8 of Cups. We have the Star card. We have the King of Cups. Oh my God, guys, seriously, I love, love, love this deck, but I can't help but look at this and see, is it Seth Rogen? Ooh, sorry. That's funny. Maybe your future is a burly man with a weird beard. So this Wanderer card, the Fool card, right next to the Queen of Wands. I don't know, I'm picking up a feeling of kind of putting the cart before the horse. Maybe you have been somewhat enamored with somebody, because I see this Fool card as kind of really ready for something new. Ready for a new journey, ready for a new start. There's something new that you are looking for. But sometimes I see the Fool card as kind of like being the void. Like an idle mind, you know, can get itself in trouble. And maybe if you are accepting things just for the sake of change, maybe, or accepting things just for the sake of excitement, it may not always be the best decision. And the Queen of Wands tells me that you have to be a little bit careful about what you're attracting. Now, I love a Queen of Wands energy. I love it because she is super productive, because she gets things done. She gets things started. She pushes people. She inspires people. And I do feel like you are in this drive, this Queen of Wands energy. And that could be that of desire, like I said. But because this energy behind you is kind of naive, there might be a little bit of a truth here. This present energy right here in the center, this Two of Cups and this Eight of Cups. There seems to be an integration. It's almost trading one thing for another. Maybe you feel as though you have to make a decision. Maybe you are coming from a little bit of a place of fear. There's a lot of emotion here with this Two of Cups and Eight of Cups. And there's a lot of wanting to take things to the next level. Wanting to ascend, wanting to grow, wanting to move on. There is a progression. But also very deep and profound emotional stuff coming from this place. Maybe you are questioning whether you want to remain in a certain place or with a certain person, or if there is something more. And you might be kind of tied between the not knowing. I don't know if you have a lot of answers from the outside. You know, if this is a relationship, I think that you're almost afraid to say what you truly want and desire. There is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. And that is very indicative of your ultimate desire. Look how beautiful these colors all go together so perfectly. I think maybe this is a time in which, and maybe for the first time, you are truly being yourself. I think you are truly weighing what you want and what you need. Is this good enough? Is this what you asked for? But here we have the Star card and the King of Cups, and the Star card is kind of this antagonizing energy. Oftentimes I see this and I think there is an element of destiny. And your heart might be pulled in two different directions. And you might be feeling a certain way. Sometimes we get like that in Aquarius season. We seek this freedom, but then like when the transit's over, we're like, oh, okay, maybe that wasn't completely necessary, you know? I always tell a lot of people this time of year, like, just don't cut the bangs, okay? For my women, don't cut your bangs. I know it's a feeling, it's a vibe, you want something different, you want that change, and yet you might regret it later on. And I see that Star card as destiny kind of saying, yeah, but there's this thing. And maybe there's part of you that wants to pull away from a connection or a commitment of some kind. Maybe there's a part of you that feels like you just want to be free. This is hard. This is tough. I have to have these hard conversations, or I have to really show somebody who I am, and I have to be vulnerable, and that stuff's really hard. What the Star card means it's a process, and you're meant to go through this. I think you are meant to experience this. The King of Cups is definitely an opening of your heart. Not, you know, the irony is not lost with the Amazonite stone that you chose, which is kind of the heart chakra opening. And what you might be resisting, because oftentimes we resist in this Aquarian energy, is the healing so that you can open your heart. expect powerful change, a new moon eclipse. Okay, so it's definitely going to be emotional, just like I said. 2 of Cups, 8 of Cups. This is not easy energy. This is really love and fear all kind of mixed up into one. Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. Look, this is a love relationship. There's never going to be any guarantees. And it's not supposed to be that way. They're simply experiences. And we have to let it come and go from our life with grace and ease, and allow destiny to kind of run its course, to kind of lead us. Maybe you don't want to jump in. Maybe you don't want to take the dive. Maybe you don't want to ascend or deepen the connection out of fear. Maybe it's easier to just be on your own or start something new and not have to go through the losses. The Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits and your soul tribe. Yeah. What is it that you're resisting? I think the universe is leading you right to where you need to be, maybe even giving you opportunities. Maybe you're meeting the right people, and yet there's something within you that says that I can't trust it. This won't last forever. I'm not going to bother with this. Hawk Spirit, let Spirit be your guide. Yeah, super important, guys. This transit, the next month, that you allow the universe to kind of guide you. It's about stepping out of your comfort zones. And if you find yourself falling into old habits, and you know, the same goes if you are in a relationship, if you're in a commitment of some sort and you truly are not happy, then you have to trust and believe in yourself. You know, if you're in something that doesn't make you feel good, because I'm not advising that anybody stay in a situation in which they don't feel good about themselves, feel good about how they're being treated. You know, I mean, there is common sense here. The universe will never have you stay in those situations. The thing is, the universe loves courage. It loves when you are brave. It loves when you declare what you want and what you deserve. And so if you have those things, but you're afraid they won't last forever, then you have to step out of that comfort zone. You have to allow. And if you don't have those things, again, you have to step out of your comfort zone and trust that you will have them with someone else. If you're confused over which way it's going to go, don't be. Just release control. Because without a shadow of doubt in my mind, the universe is just going to kind of take you where you need to go. Introduce you to the people you need to be with. You will know by the end of this transit, there will be no doubt in your mind of which direction to take. Expect powerful change. I release the need to know all the answers. It's time to really look at your intuition this month. It's time for you to speak and feel your truth. It's time for you to open up. Also drawn to the 2nd house, 8th house stuff, which is also about resources, which is also about our worthiness, right? Do we have enough? Are we enough? Are we valued enough? Does this person offer me what I truly deserve? Very 2nd house, 8th house stuff. There's nothing sexier than my authentic truth. The thing is, you can't be afraid to express yourself completely right now. And in Aquarius season, you really don't have a choice anyways. Aquarius season is when the weird stuff is kind of sexy, when you could be yourself and know that when you are yourself, you are attracting your soul tribe. When you are in your natural vibration, you are attracting the people that are meant to be with you, to have these experiences with you. If you act out of something that is unauthentic, if you are not speaking your truth or expressing yourself in some way, you're going to get stuck in these negative patterns and these negative people, and then you're going to have to keep digging yourself out. 8 of Cups. You're always going to find yourself leaving situations that you don't even know how you got into in the first place. Sometimes we kind of feed our ego that way. Like, all right, well, if I could just make these people like me, then at least I'll know there's some place that I fit in. The question is, do you like them? You know, you can't allow yourself to kind of conform to others at this time. This is kind of a calling out. Hawk spirit. There's no doubt that there's an intense amount of change headed your way, and that it's going to be very exciting. I think you're in a really good place, and you just have to remember that you are enough and that you do deserve. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Let's move on to pile number 3. All right, pile number 3, my rose quartz. It's a beautiful healing stone, so gentle. Let's take a look at the cards here. We have a 2 of Wands, the Empress, 9 of Wands, Five of Coins, Four of Swords, and the 3 of Swords. So I feel like the 2 of Wands and the Empress is kind of an invitation to kind of figure out what you want, what you desire. 2 of Wands seems to be, of course, so looking at it's almost as if you are about to cross through a threshold, cross through a door, enter a pathway. And yet there is hesitation. I think that you're just creating. This is super creative energy. The Empress and the 2 of Wands. And I feel intuitively like you are really, really attractive right now. You are attracting people to you. There's like this magnetism. And you might be starting to realize how many options are open to you. You might be starting to really understand how this whole manifestation thing works. Because when I see a 2 of Wands and an Empress together, I know that there's things that can be done. The environment is ripe. And yet we have these 2 cards here, which I don't really like at all. We have a 9 of Wands and a 5 of Coins. There's something that you're protecting, something that you're blocking. And because this 5 of Coins is here, this is kind of my victim card. Maybe there's a fear of being ostracized, fear of stepping into this Empress energy. And I can't help. I mean, when I see 2 of Wands, I see choices. And when I see an Empress and a 5 of Coins, this is the absolute opposite. Like, this woman has everything that she could want, need, and desire. There is no doubt in her mind. If she wants it, she can have it. And this 5 of Coins is a little bit more in a place of not having to do without, not having the necessities, and certainly not being loved or valued or provided for. Now, maybe you've worked very hard to get yourself in a position of survival and abundance. I mean, it's much more than survival. But you've gotten yourself into a position of survival, of having enough, of understanding your value and your worth. And this is you kind of fiercely protecting it. And I just wonder if maybe there isn't something kind of back in the past, something that happened long before. Maybe there was a time in which you were hurt or you were a victim. Maybe there was a time where somebody abandoned you. Maybe there was a time where you felt like you had to kind of do everything on your own. The Empress is always depicted as being alone. You know, she is a mother and she has her child, but you never see a man in the picture. There's really nobody else taking care of her, and yet she is wildly taken care of. Maybe there's a part of you that has fought very hard on your own to get to this place. But here we have the Four of Swords and the Three of Swords, and it's definitely indicating to me that if you are in such a place of having to protect yourself, of believing that you won't have enough, you're going to miss out on an opportunity. Four of Swords is kind of laying back. It's not taking advantage of the energy. It's being a little too laid back. It's being a little too detached. You know, sometimes this is like I'll just worry about that tomorrow. I'll just do that thing tomorrow. We'll just do it better next month. And I think if you are there, if you are protecting yourself and not willing to take a risk or take a move, you might truly be selling yourself short. Three of Swords is definitely, wow, this one's pretty graphic. Definitely been wounded. I'm just wondering if maybe for some of you, there has been past wounds, there has been past hurts, and yet it's something that you're protecting. You know, maybe this is something you don't like to tell this story. You don't like people to know that at one time you were weaker, at least in your eyes, probably not in anyone else's, but weaker or hurt or victimized. Maybe this is just one particular person. Maybe there's you avoiding telling this person how badly they hurt you or disappointed you in some way, because certainly you don't want to look weak. And I still feel like you're missing an opportunity. You know, the Three of Swords in every tarot deck, it's about the pain being exposed so that it can be healed. And if you're in a long-term partnership, if you're in a commitment or you're in a job and your feelings have been hurt and you don't tell anyone, that behavior can never be fixed. That person can never make up for it. And so, of course, you will feel in this place alone. Because you're not allowing any other opportunity to happen. You're not allowing that I'm sorry. You're not allowing that communication. You're not allowing yourself to reframe that pain and hurt. The presence of love will always cast out fear. Definitely working through some fears here. Five of coins. We have don't let your past hold you back. South Node. Again. You have choices. And you have beautiful choices. You are being invited to enter into something clearly. And yet you might be saying to yourself, oh no, I'm not going down that road again. Not opening my heart again. I'm not going to allow myself to be hurt or disappointed by anyone. And I'm also drawn to the presence of love will always cast out fear, and notice the similarities between this moon and this rose quartz. And you think deep down what you're healing is that fear. Grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. That's the thing, is that you have to let yourself feel it. You have to let the healing happen. You have to admit and deal and understand the pain. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. For sure. And pig spirit, use your mind wisely. Card number 47, breaking down to 11, which is another very divine number. Also, just kind of coming to my attention right now that I'm actually doing this reading on February 11th. So use your mind wisely on this full moon for sure, and this new moon, I'm sorry. And it's about setting your intentions. And the thing is, you have to set intentions without this. Without the reasons why you don't deserve it. Without the reasons why it won't happen. Without the reasons why it can't happen. Gotta learn to heal this 9 of Wands, 5 of Coins. You have to allow yourself to feel those things again. Maybe some of you are going to be reliving kind of a trauma. You know, not like living the trauma, but being reminded of it. Maybe there are elements within your life that are coming up that feel risky. If I open my heart to somebody, they'll disappoint me just like the last time. But the thing is, when you believe like that, then it happens. And I know it's weird. I know it's hard when you lose something or you lose somebody. It's very difficult to think that you can recreate that. It's very difficult to think that somebody else can step in and take the place or replace somebody. And sometimes we build this wall out of honor. And sometimes we wear this 9 of Wands, 5 of Coins thing as kind of like a badge of honor. But the universe doesn't want you to go through life without the having. Maybe for some of you, you lost something beautiful. But the real tragedy is allowing your heart to grow cold. The real tragedy here is that you remain in this 3 of Swords kind of nightmare. Where every day it still kind of hurts, and every day you are reminded of the loss. And at some point we have to let the happiness back in. Cannot stay in the grieving forever. And I'm so sorry if any of you have lost somebody. I'm certainly not saying, all right, well, you know, time's ticking, let's get this on with. That's not at all what I'm indicating to you. But life doesn't stop. And nor does the universe stop handing you new experiences. And you are still here. You're still participating in life. And so your duty is to find happiness and joy. It is to have your heart open and allowing the love and kindness in, allowing those experiences again. You don't want to stay guarded forever. You don't want to stay in a state of loss, because there's a whole nother world beyond this healing. But it is ultimately a choice. No one is saying you have to move on. You could stay here forever if you want. But the universe has gifts they want to give you. It has new people, new love, new genuine opportunities that's being handed to you at this time. And it's beautiful. And I would hate to see you miss out on that kind of an experience. All right, pile number 3. I'm going to leave it at that. I love you guys so much, and I'll be dropping back in soon. Take care, guys.